Hi guys, welcome back for another one. Today's video is going to go over quality of life improvements we'd really like to see come to Marvel Strike Force. And today I have a very special guest, Nature Boy. Nature Boy, how's it going?
Living the dream, man. Can't be better.
That is awesome to hear. So we're going to get into quality improvements that myself and Nature Boy would like to see come to Marvel Strike Force. So guys, if you're ready for it, you know what to do. Sit back, relax, and let's get into it. All right, so last week we got the 2022 roadmap, and in there they did give us a section of quality of life improvements. Now, I don't know about you, Nature Boy, but I was somewhat disappointed. Not that saying that it's all bad, but I was somewhat disappointed by the quality of life improvements that they're going to give us in 2022, at least what they're publicly saying they will, over what I feel we really need in the game. How's your feelings before we get into our top 5 list?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same old song and dance that Scopely likes to do with us. So we come up with these amazing ideas and everybody loves them, about the quality of life changes that we want to see in the game. And when it boils down to it, either we don't get it or we get it behind some kind of scam, like, for example, the roster tabs. We'll give you these, but you have to achieve commander level X, and
Yeah.
it's like, just give it to us, man.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not going to go over these ones. You guys can check out this dev blog yourself by going to the Marvel Strike Force webpage. But we're going to get into our top 5, and we're going to kick with number 5, one that I think we both agree with. An Orb Slider to open up multiple orbs at once, especially when credits are involved and other resources. So I know this is one that you sent to me. I agree with it, and I want to make this a top 5 list. So Orb Slider, what are your thoughts here?
Oh my God. The first thing that comes to mind is you go into my Blitz screen and I have like 1,000 orbs of those purple gear to open. And I don't want to sit there for literally 2 hours breaking my fingers trying to open these things. Yeah, those things right there. Like just give me a slider and let me open them.
Yeah, this is one I actually at one point had over 1,000 saved up, and just one day while I was sitting down watching a movie, I'm just sitting there with my finger just tapping. I'm not even paying attention to my screen. I'm just tapping my finger there in the entire movie to get them all open. It was painful. My finger was numb afterwards. So
I remember like a week ago, I think it was like a week or two ago on one of your streams, I was watching you and you had opened up your raid orbs to get cloak. Yeah. And I can't believe your finger survived that one.
It's really, if I repair my right finger to my left finger, there's some definitely muscle definition building there. So yeah, number 5, Raid Slider. All right, so now we're going to jump into number 4, and I'm going to let Nature Boy take number 4. Nature Boy, what quality of life improvement would you like to see come to Marvel Strike Force?
I think the biggest thing for me is I want to see more access to T13s. We have a T14 Armory Orb, a T15 Armory Orb. Is it Armory or regular Orb? Yeah, Armory Orb. And but we don't have T13s. Why am I struggling, Mr. Free to Play, to get Oz Formula or Miasma or anything like that? Like when I could just either farm it in a node, like create a new Doom War chapter, and let us farm T13 uniques, or give us put them in an orb, a T13 orb. That it blows my mind how we're still struggling for this stuff, and they're talking in their blog post about T19 gear. Like, what is up with that?
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Like, I really would love to see an actual farmable way of getting the T13 uniques. So I guess to play devil's advocate here, not that I'm advocating this should stay the way it is, because something should change. But like these uniques actually exist in purple gear too. We just don't really suffer and there's no way to farm it. We just don't usually suffer that bottleneck because we get such an abundance of purple gear orbs that we typically are okay, especially long-term players. I don't know what it's like to be a new player 1 year in and trying to take characters to gear tier 12 if the uniques are a problem. But I think that's an example of where the economy needs to be increased on the RNG, even if they're going to keep it RNG on the RNG side. But yeah, I don't see why we can't make these farmable. Allow us to choose, what we do. I don't know the rationale behind this other than maybe still pick up a few sales from, whales and krakens that don't have patience. But Yeah, I would love to see. I would love to see a Doom War chapter with these uniques.
Yeah, you can farm all of these pieces up to gear 13. You have an abundance of them because you get them easily through farming or whatever. But when you get to T13, those uniques are so hard to find. You remember like when every character was taking miasma, and now every character was taking Oz formula. It's like they do it intentionally to bottleneck you, and
Yeah.
there should be no reason for it. The bottleneck should be T15s at this point. They need to ease up on the 13s, and even the
Yeah.
14s. Even if the 14s are farmable, and the 15s just became farmable. I can go onto a node if I'm short and go farm and use my energy to get it. Why can't I do that for my 13s or my astral energy or my miasma or anything like that?
Yeah, hey, I 100% with you, definitely. And I'm already looking at the with the announcement of Morgan Le Fay, Scarlet Witch getting a rework, and 3 possible other characters, which is looking like it's going to be another Mystic team in this game. Those Arcane books that Ebony Maw takes, I'm looking at all 5 of those characters needing them. I don't know what Scarlet Witch takes off the top of my head, but I'm looking at like something like that unique, becoming a bottleneck with a brand new team.
Yeah, forget it. If they don't do something about that, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
This game's in trouble.
All right, so let's move on to number 3. And with number 3, I'm going to continue to beat a dead horse with this one because I've been advocating for one thing for probably 2+ years now. Recently, the envoys were asked by Cerebro before all this blog post and everything came out was, what quality of life improvements do we think Marvel Strike Force needs? And every content creator who chose to could give their top 5. And I went to my Discord, asked people in my Discord, what do you think? And I kind of went back to my top 5, but I always have one. I just have one ask. And that is adding an autocomplete feature to raids. And I would love to see them implement this as an achievement type based system. So kind of give a little bit of a picture to what I'm saying here. And I've actually gotten some support from other envoys who read my quality of life change. So let's say every node here would have an achievement based thing. Let's say the number's 12, right? So if you can clear this node 12 times 3-star, which means you fully clear it with all your characters still alive within the 5 minutes, right? Do that 12 times as an achievement, you unlock the ability to autocomplete. You no longer have to do this node. You just spend 10 energy, boom, it's complete, move to the next. And I think a lot of people would love this. One, because once they hit the threshold, they're saving time in the game. 2, it's content for them to strive towards completing, because right now it's just nonsense repetitive. It's fun when you first do it, but it gets very repetitive and old very quickly. And the main reason why I don't advocate for an auto raid sim is because I don't trust the AI in the sim system to have all my characters survive, especially when you're talking about Greek raids. So with all that said, me giving my explanation, what do you think, Nature Boy?
Yeah, I mean, especially when you look at Greek raids, the difficulty for the higher ones are so incredibly hard that sim probably wouldn't be the best option. And I also noticed that when they implemented Blitz Sim, which is a great thing to have. I mean, I still love using it, but I lose matches that I should win. And it happens quite a bit. When you're doing that in a raid, when your alliance kind of depends on you to clear a lane, and you use that sim and you lose nodes that you typically would win, it's just not good for the game. And I think you're right. Once you do the raiding enough times, it gets very boring and repetitive.
Yeah.
And there needs to be a way where you can kind of skip that. And I know for me, I very rarely get to the Mystic section in Doom Raid. So for me to be able to kind of skip all that stuff and for me to build up my energy faster because I did it faster, I would be able to do more of those nodes that I don't normally do. And that would be fun for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, definitely. And, we got Scourge events. We got, Avengers Tower coming back. I don't know if they're going to redo Pocket Dimension or not, but they're adding content in this game that's going to take up more of our time. And they've acknowledged it, and we've said it many times. This game takes up way too much daily time to actually to play competitively and actively. And this is an easy solution. I mean, just a simple, easy solution. All they got to do is program it.
Yeah, that's definitely a no-brainer. But, that's one of those things they'll ask the envoys a bunch of things that they're not going to listen to.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to number 2. What is the number 2 quality life improvement you'd like to see?
Red stars, Mr. Free to Play. The Red Star system sucks. It takes complete agency out of our game, out of our rosters, and it makes us resort to RNG. So the promo credit system is great. I think it was a great change that they made initially, but you're taking agency out of our ability to rank up the characters that we want, and we're relegated to ranking up characters that they want, and I'll have to spend cores to refresh the store and possibly see the character that I want to get. So what is so hard for them to let us promote using our promo credits directly from the raid screen? I mean, the roster screen.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. It allows us to rank up the characters that we want. So if I get 100 gold credits on, let's say, Icarus, and I want to rank him up to 6 stars, why do I have to wait in the store potentially months for him to show up when I could just go into the roster screen and click on promote, and there goes my 100 credits and he gets an extra star? It's simple as that.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you. They definitely have given us more promo credits in recent times. I mean, some of that you might have to do milestones for to get, but it would be nice if we could just bring up like the Red Star system itself. Like, it's very outdated at this point. I think even I think they're very slow to let go of making money through Red Stars, as it used to be a very lucrative way for them to make money in this game. But yeah, I mean, this would be awesome. Like, if we go to the supply store, and I think this is your main issue you brought up.
Yeah, you just click on any old character on the roster screen.
Yeah,
and you just hit promote. Just add a little button there that says promote, and it takes you up to the next star level.
Yeah. So you get 9 characters? Yeah. So you get 9 characters that show up 3 times a day, assuming you don't spend 50 core refreshes, which I do not recommend at all. Because it's 9 characters out of 193. Now I know subtract however many legendaries they are from that number, and it's it takes a very long time, assuming that every character rotated through evenly, like it wasn't RNG, it was even based, it would just keep cycling through, right? There's still a very long period of time before one character would show up out of a 9 character rotation with 190 some to go through. And yeah, this is very outdated. And plus, when this system was implemented, right, 9 character spots, there were like 50 to 60 less characters in the game than there are now. Like, they've added that many, like they usually add around 30, a little bit more than 30 to a little bit more than 30 a year to this game of new characters. So it is, yeah, it's something needs to change. I mean, definitely sure. And I believe that they far enough along in the Red Star system that no one's going to spend cores here. If no one's spending cores here, there's no point to this store. They could easily just allow us to promote characters up through the roster screen, like as you mentioned.
Yeah, you made a good point too, because we have the same problem in all of the stores except the Blitz store. So our raid store is RNG dependent. Our war store is RNG dependent. Why can't they all be just, hey, pick whatever character you want? Why do we have to wait all this time for a character to show up that may never show up,
Yeah.
and promote them? So the Red Star system, I to be honest with you, I do like the fact that they are taking minions out of the 5, 6, and 7. Am I right?
Just 6 and 7.
6 and 7, yeah. So I like the fact that they're doing that, because if you want to promote a minion, you should be able to go on the screen and promote a minion if you want to. I know some of the minions are becoming more important now with Ravagers, and I know Hydra is still a little bit relevant. So you should be able to do that. But I think the Red Star system and the RNG dependency of characters showing up in the store, so like I said, War Store, Raid Store, and the Red Star store, that needs to be re-envisioned from the bottom up. I think the whole system needs to be burned down and rebuilt.
Yeah. Burn it down. You heard it here first. All right, let's move on to the number one thing that I have today for quality life improvements that we really need in 2022. API. We really, really need an API for this game. 193 characters to manage in this game, and no streamlined way of doing it. So I'm going to go through all the advantages that an API can actually have, assuming it can be fully implemented. And I'm kind of disappointed that they chose to redo the Marvel Strike Force webpage before they decided to give us an API, knowing how diluted this game is with characters. Before I get into all the benefits we could possibly get with an API, what's your thoughts here, Nature Boy?
Yeah, it's been one of those systems that it's been needed for a long time. Back in the day, I used to play World of Warcraft, and they had a great API system that any guild leader or anybody can look up your roster and see exactly what you're working with. It's just a system that's been needed. I know alliance leaders and captains don't have the tools necessary to really manage their alliances, and this would be the biggest step going forward. And I think the store is a step, is the first step.
Yeah.
I also want to say that I remember 2 years ago when Cerebro said that he was going to personally lead the charge to get us an API, and that was it only takes 2 years, right? So
yeah, it's definitely been a long, drawn out process. That I mean, I'm not an expert in corporate stuff and computer programming and stuff like that, but I mean, it does feel like it's been taking much longer than it should have. So let me talk about the advantages an API in case if everyone's out there and like, I don't know if this is really helpful or not. So one, you'd have an automatic system that would upload your roster to a website where you could manage your roster that is a little bit more friendlier than your phone, or even if you're using BlueStacks. As this website, it moves pretty smoothly. And I'm going to get into some other stuff. It's all uploaded. You could share with your alliance. You could share with, if you have someone helping you out, build your teams. People can look at your roster and help you out. I know in the past I've done roster reviews using this Marvel Strike Force webpage, or I shouldn't call it Marvel Strike Force webpage, but MSF.gg. So, and the other thing that we really can visibly see is our inventory, and with an API, we'd be able to see our inventory, our Dark Dimension Planner, which I'll switch to right now. Like I could easily, as soon as I calculate, get my team selected and then see what I'm missing. And I don't have to go into the game. And I'm realizing this part of this is cut off, but that's all right. I don't have to go into the game and literally figure out how much of this gear that I already have. The API would automatically load it in, and I'd be able to without having to deal with spreadsheets and everything else, I'd be able to figure out what I need to do. And this is probably the number one thing I think would be really helpful. You know how hard it is to manage your blitz teams, all the different save squads? Can you imagine? I'll go to the My Teams tab here. I literally have all my blitz teams, my ward teams, my raid teams all saved in these folders. Can you imagine how easy it'd be if I could build my teams here and they automatically get uploaded to the game? It would save me so much time. It'd be such a stress relief, especially with someone like myself, and I'm pretty sure a lot of new and mid-game players will be in the same boat, where you just have incomplete teams, and this is a lot easier to manage and see. Let me show you, for example, if I would, for example, we'll just edit this. Let's say these guys aren't selected, whatever, save. And I was building a team, and let's say, where's my Supernatural? Where are you? There you are. I hit edit, and I wanted to change this for Dark Hunters. Well, I could easily just edit this. So take out Scarlet Witch, and obviously I'd put them in the right order, left to right. But right now I'm just doing this for the sake of recording a video. But boom, save team, and that's automatically updated in my Blitz save squads. That'd be so awesome.
Yep, absolutely. And first of all, huge, biggest of all shout outs to TyJ and Pimtoxy, because this MSF.gg started out as, they love the game and they did all of that for the community. They asked for nothing except donation to help keep it running. Yeah. And they developed all of this, and they got it to a point where Scopely, basically, I guess they bought the rights to have them do an API for them. So the way they designed it was incredible. And before that, I was using Mantis. But the problem with Mantis is that you have to do everything manually. It doesn't update automatically. And on top of that, to be honest with you, every time I use it, I got a little nervous about breaking terms of service. And I know Scopely doesn't care about terms of service right now, but that's a huge achievement for TyJ and Pimtoxy. That is an incredible thing that they built, and I personally can't thank them enough for what they did, because this system, when it finally gets implemented, which it looks like they will, however their time frame plays out, but is going to be a huge a huge boost to the community. It's going to help alliance leaders and captains immensely with managing wars, managing rosters, setting rooms for war, and and like you were demonstrating, just being so plug and play the way it is incredible. Like, I'm not tech savvy with that kind of stuff, but that I can definitely get on board with.
Yeah, I mean, look how easy it is just to switch the order. Like, I'm going to take Hydra here, all the way up here, boom, the order switched. You know how hard that is to do in game?
Yeah,
very frustrating.
Yeah, and the fact that I can take one character from tier 12 to tier 13, and when I go into MSFGG, it's gonna be the new number, the new power number, and I'll have all my accurate TCP on there and my accurate team powers and everything. So, and ISOs, and it's incredible. That is definitely what we need.
Yeah. All right. That's it, guys. That's our top 5 quality of life improvements we'd like to see in 2022. You have anything else you want to add, Nature Boy? Where can they find you?
No, nothing to add, but yeah, you can catch me on YouTube. I have a channel over there. As a matter of fact, me and Mr. Free to Play filmed a video over there about the best raid teams that you can use in Doom Raid. So please go check that out when you get a chance, and drop a like and a subscribe.
All right, guys, and that will do it from us. If you guys enjoy this video, do me a huge favor, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell if you don't want to miss anything else in the future. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.